My name is Fraser.
My name is Mark.
And we are the hosts of the geekiest show alive. To the outside world, we're ordinary geeks.
But in the Fab International Studios, we talk comics and find other geeks just like us. This is Geek of the Week. This is a very special edition of Pull Up Pass.
Because it's May. It's May. And when this comes out, it will be free comic book day. So what we're doing is, because this show goes out typically before comic books are open, if you want to listen to this live, it's great. Because we're doing a preview of free comic book day. We're having a look at a few of the comic books that are coming out. And mainly we're looking at the ones that we're interested in, I think that's safe to say. And ones that just seem a bit odd. And we're like, what's this about?
Well, after you've listened to us, go to your local comic shop, get some free comics.
If you're listening to this on Mixcloud podcast or YouTube, though, you missed your chance. What are you doing? If you go into your comic book store, though, they might still have some spare. They might be trying to sell them off for 50p or £1 now.
Which is okay.
Which is okay because, like Mark said this way at the beginning of this show, if you listen to this on YouTube, you won't know, but we'll say it now for you. The retailers actually have to buy these comics to bring them in, and it is a big sort of marketing thing. We did a Messages of the Multiverse on this, based off this really, because a lot of people for their first journey to a comic book store will be because of free comic book day, and that'll be
why the hell not?
Why they start, and it's always a good thing to do. I highly recommend it because you can read a new book, even sometimes off something you would have seen on telly or films. And it's just a good place to start, and a lot of them as well will be older books, not too old like way back when, but like maybe released earlier this year,
like a freebie reprint.
Yeah, and they will have you'll be able to carry on the story in your local comic book store. There, you can say, "Hey, do you have the number 2?" And they're like, "We have 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 is out next week." And you're like, "Oh, sweet." So it's a really cool way to start
I think so.
Free comic book day. Now, I just have to preference. Don't just go into your comic book store and pick up any comic book. We had people talk about that in the Messages of the Multiverse because they tried that.
No, it's only the promotional ones.
It's only ones. They say on the top free comic book day, so don't feel a bit too...
our local comic book store, we both live in Manchester, and our local comic book store is Travelling Man. And
we've managed to team up with them.
Yeah, they've been very kind to us.
So happy about that. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Geeks of all kind.
We're really pleased to be teaming with Travelling Man. They've very kindly agreed to put aside one of everything they get in for us, which is at no small expense to them.
Yeah, there's like 51 comic books.
Yeah, so we're going to do a full month of reviews of maybe 5 or 6 at a time on Pull Up Pass of all the free comic books. We can only do that with the support of Travelling Man, so we're incredibly grateful.
Thank you for that.
They're at Fordale Street in Manchester, but they also have branches in Leeds, York, and Newcastle if you live around those areas.
Yeah, if you're UK based, if you're not UK based, when you have a visit over, come visit Manchester. It's a beautiful place.
It's the best city in the north. Maybe the country.
I thought you were going to say the world. Then I was like, oh, nice.
I'm not.
You're saying that over New Orleans. I thought that was your dream place.
Don't. I'm going to retire to New Orleans.
See, Thanos had a retirement plan. That's another one of Rhodey's great lines in the film.
That wasn't.
Even Thanos has a retirement plan. So Mark's got his to New Orleans. I'll probably retire to be Spider-Man.
You can at Travelling Man on Twitter, at Travelling Man UK.
Yeah.
So and then you can get their updates and stuff.
Definitely, yeah. Give them a follow as well because they're always keeping stuff going, and it's nice. It's nice to get a conversation going as well.
We always got our comics from there anyway. Yeah. So we got chatting to them about Free Comic Books Day, and
it was
cheekily
nice,
asked, and they said that was okay. So
and that's
big love to Travelling Man.
That's the important thing when you start going into a comic book store is building that relationship with the comic book store people behind there, and like the owners and stuff like that. That's because they'll give you recommendations, and it's like visiting your friend every week if you go in every Wednesday for your books and stuff like that, or whenever you go in and just having a nice chit chat. And it's that community. It's a comic book community really, because more and more people have been brought into this with the films and stuff like that, and it's a lovely community. But let's just preview these books now, because we've talked.
Yeah, well, there's 51 of them, and there's some gold and some silver. Fraser, I don't really get the difference between gold and silver. Can you kind of explain why they're graded like this?
They sort of do it. It's a different system. So some stores, it'll be like price. Some of it will be pricing. Some of it as well will be like, some stores will be like, you're allowed 2 gold or 3.
Okay.
It's just a sort of way to differentiate and not just be like, here's all the comics. But it's interesting you say that, because there are some comics that are on silver that I was like, okay.
Well, for
but
me,
I wouldn't really call it a dampener that they're...
A lot of the ones I'm excited about are silvers. I didn't even really look at what was gold and what was silver. I just kind of noticed.
Saw the comics, yeah.
I'm just going to say what I'm looking forward to, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course.
Lady Mechanica looks fun. I like steampunk, and that looks fun. Steampunk comic. There's a Street Fighter one, which I'm looking forward to as well, because I like Street Fighter, simply. There's a 2000 AD one that I will definitely want to get my hands on and read, because it's
a team up with Rebellion as well.
Yeah, and 2000 AD it's a phenomenon, and I love their graphic novels, their collected comics, but I find 2000 AD itself intimidating, because you can't dip in. You either need to be subscribed or not. There's no real middle ground, because all their stories are at different points, and I love 2000 AD, but I've never actually really bought the magazine itself, which I now know is a loss leader for the sales they make on the collected comics. So and that's kind of sad, and I want to be more into 2000 AD, so maybe this is my path into
This is your gateway through.
Yeah, maybe. There's I love Buffy. I love Joss Whedon, and there's a Welcome to the Whedon. That's the gold
universe.
one I want.
That's a really cool, and like, I wonder if it's a crossover or just 2 separate stories. Either way, game for both.
No, there's a Jeff Lemire. There's the Black Hammer one.
Black Hammer one, yeah, with the Stranger Things as well. It's Stranger Things and Black Hammer.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to find out if it's the Stranger Things book we read, because we've read 2 of these gold comics, because the 13th Doctor's on there. And I think that is the one we've read. And yeah, the Stranger Things and Black Hammer one. Again, at first when I saw that, I was like, oh, is that a crossover? But I think it's 2 separate stories. But that would be really cool, especially with the Black Hammer Justice League crossover coming soon. That'd be cool to check out.
Yeah. There's also one called Ignition, which is a completely new universe being launched in that comic, which I think is a great
which is really
thing.
cool.
And you can definitely start from the beginning on that one, which I've always been a completist. I like to start from the beginning and do it all, which is why I sometimes find stuff like I was talking about with 2000 AD so intimidating, and long running stories intimidating, because I want to know what happened from the very, very beginning.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, hey, why am I missing out on information, or like feel like you don't know.
Here's a fess up one as well. As much as I've harped on about how brutal the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books were, never actually read any.
Really? Oh, so Casualty of War?
Casualty of War, I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that was one I was looking forward to as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That should be great fun.
Because they've done some really cool stuff in the Ninja Turtles comics, and I'm really looking... Ninja Turtles comics and Power Rangers comics are like my jam.
I would like to read Ninja Turtles from the start, and I don't know whether that's actually possible.
Like the 90s one. Yeah, they're really dark. That black and white, yeah.
I'd love to read that. They look very much my kind of thing.
Because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think it's their 35-year anniversary.
Yeah, they've been around an insanely long time.
And this Casualty of War, I was going to put it on Pull or Pass a while back, but I think we just missed the boat. There was something else, another indie book that was out, so I was like, I think we did that instead, and I was like, it's okay.
So that's one of the reprints, is it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. I'm going to go with that.
Are there any more you're particularly looking forward to? Because that's my list.
There's a chunk. Obviously, I'll go for smaller ones, and then that blatantly obvious one I'm really looking forward to. Shh. Yeah. Looking forward again to that Avengers one. It's a new team. Like Avengers recently had a new team put together, and it'd be even more interesting because Endgame sort of led us more towards that team that we're getting. I'm looking forward to the Pokemon one purely because that way we can blag that. Oh yeah, we get to watch Detective Pikachu and review it for the show.
Well, we can do a quick review of Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be like an endgame one where we talk for an hour and whatever about it. I'm really looking forward to the Dear Justice League one. I think that would be a nice... they sort of done a lot of stuff with their Wonder comics.
That was on my list of ones I'm dreading.
Well,
I've got 3 that I'm dreading, and that was one of them.
I knew that wasn't your vibe, but that is very much my vibe because it's childlike. I imagine Casper's not one you're looking forward to.
That was also on my list that I'm dreading.
To be fair...
Go on then, pick the third one. Do you think you can pick the third one? No.
Really?
No, the third one I'm dreading is Superhero Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that because it's interesting.
Diabolical.
I'm just like, Cristiano Ronaldo, just for those that don't know,
unfathomably bad.
It looks like this famous soccer football player. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not going to lie. That was my next one I was going to say I'm looking forward to. Just out of pure intrigue.
No.
I know it's probably not going to... It's going to be awful. But when I was younger...
I'm almost looking forward to reading it so that I can slate it.
Yeah. Well, that counts in a way. In 2002, the FIFA World Cup was held in... Oh, where was it held in? It was held in, I think,
football.
Asia or something. No, because this is really interesting. So they did like an animated series, which was very similar to this. And it was these like... these cool like animations of like different... it wasn't soccer players or football players. It was like these characters.
Bo something was in it. Bo knows he was in it.
I think so.
I've seen it. It was diabolical.
I watched it when I was younger, and it was a nostalgia thing for me, and I really sort of enjoyed it. I'm just really intrigued to see how comics and football will work, because this is going to be a cartoon as well, this Cristiano Ronaldo Strike Force. Yeah, obviously I'm not going to follow the thing, but I'm just really intrigued. I'm just intrigued by it, really. There's a cool Star Wars book, because Star Wars is comic smarts, like we've well established.
We'll move on from that. We haven't got enough time to have this discussion. We've got 5 minutes, we've got to play a song.
I'm really looking forward to that. And obviously, the big one I'm looking forward to is the Spider-Man 1 book. It's setting up absolute carnage. We're getting Miles, Peter in a book, and we're getting Carnage in it. And we're probably going to see some of Venom as well. And it's all the writers who have been doing Spider-Man, all the writers who have been doing Venom, all teaming up together in this epic book that is free. Amazing.
We have got a very interesting month. I'm looking forward to mixing up Pull or Pass for the next month and going through all of these comics one by 5 at a time, getting as many of them under the belt as we can. And it's going to be a fun month on Pull or Pass.
One more I should mention, because just to let out my weeb, I should have finished with Spider-Man. That's the one I'm really looking forward to. But letting out the weeb in me, My Hero Academia and The Promised Neverland are 2 animes that I've started watching. So reading them in comics would be interesting as well. But Spider-Man's the big one for me. But what are you geeks looking forward to? If you want, if you type in Free Comic Book Day on the website, they've got the whole catalogue of all of them they're releasing, so check them out. If you listen to this live and you went into your Free Comic Book Store, or you just went into your Free Comic Book Store, anyway, and checked out Free Comic Book Day, what did you pick up?
Tell us which ones you chose.
What did you read? And it'd be cool to hear that on the Facebook group, on our Twitter, and on the YouTube comment section below. Let us know what you picked up, what you thought, and what you're looking forward to us checking out in this whole next month of Pull or Pass. So yeah, the whole month of May is dedicated, at least our Pull or Passes, to getting through as much as Free Comic Book Day as we can. So wish us luck. It's going to be a lot of reading.
Thanks for listening to Geek of the Week. Be sure to tune in next week. Same geek time, same geek channel.
And if you want to follow us on social media, it's at GOTW Radio on Twitter. Search for Geek of the Week Radio Show on Facebook. And to listen again, it's www.mixcloud.com/Geek of the Week Radio Show.